Ta-da! Is it working? Yeah. I think we're good.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I'm seeing stuff. I'm seeing images. I'm seeing me and you. Right, we should be good now. Success. Wow. Hello everyone. Let's wait for a few people to come in maybe. There we go. Lower that down. Oh hey. There you go. Awesome. It should send a notification now. I'm just going to put the tweet again. Live on YouTube discussing. I shall tag you into it to be nice and friendly.
Yeah, of course. Stanlow Crickets 888 asks, "Did you see the first Picard episode?" Okay, listen. Don't get excited with your questions, Stanlow. I didn't see it, if that's what you're asking, but they don't want to talk to me. Hello, everyone. Sorry about all the technical issues. Yeah,
we should be good now.
In.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Awesome. Right, I'm just gonna quickly shove that into our Discord as well, and we'll be good to go. I love how YouTube's now emailing me going, "Do you know you're live?" I'm like, "Well, cheers."
Thanks, YouTube. You don't say. All right.
Right. Well, that's now out. So, Ketwolski, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, good sir. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Now we're actually off the ground and running at warp speed. I think we're happy, to be honest. It's always when me and you stream, isn't it? There seems to be some issue with YouTube, no matter how much we prep it in. I like to think we are professionals at the YouTube game. However, not so much.
You know, it's funny you say that because I did a joint YouTube channel live stream the other day with ZE Films while we were playing Star Trek Online, and it worked without any problems. And we didn't even prep. He just fell into it with me, and we prepped for like 30 minutes on this thing, and it still screws up. I don't know what it doesn't like us. It's fine. It's okay.
I'm gonna just
bad luck.
It's fine.
It's all right though.
Awesome.
We're working now though. We're flying.
We're good. I think we know for next time, just never test YouTube's new auto feature and never touch it again.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm going to get an email saying, "What are you saying?" Anyway, today we are discussing the Starship Picard premiere. That is obviously the first episode, and the event that took place in LA, London, and Berlin. I myself was at the London one on Wednesday the 15th. I think a few people at the Berlin one, and obviously nearly everyone and their dog was at the LA premiere, which is fantastic. That one looked really good. I saw a lot of actors and actresses turning up to that one. I know Gates McFadden was there. And everyone was like, "Oh, is there going to be a Beverly cameo in Picard?" Ooh.
Well, I mean, yeah, duh. I hope that's what that means, or maybe they just felt like they should invite her or whatever. I don't know. I don't think all of the actors, I don't think LeVar was there.
He wasn't at the premiere, but he was at Picard's, not Picard, Patrick Stewart's, was it a handprint ceremony in the morning? He was there, which is fantastic. That was a right laugh. So it was good to see him there. But who else? Jonathan Frakes didn't turn up. I was expecting him maybe being at the premiere because he did obviously direct 2 episodes, which is 4 and 5. So I'm not sure where
it was weird.
Not where he's gone. But hopefully he's seen it, or at least the first episode. He's probably seen it because he's in it somehow. But
I'm sure he's probably seen the whole season already, but that's okay. Yeah, it was weird. The turnout at the premiere was a little strange, but I was very excited. I think by a lot of people were too by the Gates McFadden appearance, which I think was a little unexpected.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't do too many appearances like that. Like she's kind of involved and then she's kind of not. She's not like super in the circuit like some other folks are. But her showing up there, I thought was rather telling, and maybe we will get a little something. I mean, they're going to have to address it. You've already seen the first episode, and several people who went to the LA premiere saw the first 3 episodes. So I don't know if they do address it. Yeah, and so they're going to have to address the Beverly issue at some point, because that's part of Picard's character, was his long-term relationship on and off again with her. So
definitely
we'll have to talk about it at some point.
I think, it was either Alex Kurtzman or Michael Chabon, one of the producers for Starship Picard, basically has said many times now they'll only bring back what they're now calling like legacy Trek characters, i.e. people from the Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, etc., if they suit the story. Now, without sounding like I support every idea, I do like that idea because these characters are so legendary and so iconic to all of us. It would be a shame to have them on screen and just like not utilize their full potential. So if they have a reason to be in the story, a reason to be on our screens, I do prefer that because it gives them something to do. There's nothing worse than having like Jonathan Frakes just propped up against the bar there doing absolutely nothing. That would be funny to see, but you do get my gist. It's kind of like they need a reason to be in the show. Like, I'm guessing, we've got 7 of 9. She has a reason to be in the show. She's up to something. Same with actually Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis, Riker and Troy. They've got some reason to be in the show, but it's clear Picard must seek them out somehow. So they've got a reason to be there, but maybe Beverly wouldn't, which is odd because some would argue she is quite important to Picard's life, and we do see the relationship between Beverly and Picard get stronger in Nemesis. So is it a hint it could lead somewhere? I'm not sure. There's definitely got to be an answer at some point, like you said.
Yeah, I agree. Like we'll find out what happened with them, and it's very likely that perhaps they just didn't work out, because I think even in All Good Things, like they got married, and then it still didn't really work out. Which I think on almost every canon iteration of them being together in the future, it never worked out. Like I don't think it ever actually they stayed together forever, which is fine, But again, like they'll have to address it in some way. And you're right, like. They need to have something to do, and I don't just want them to bring the characters back just to kill them. If she dies, and that would be very impactful to his character development and his arc, I think. But if they just start bringing actors back to die, I don't think that's going to be particularly fun. Like for me, the one that's the most concerning about if he's dead or not is Geordi, just because of the Children of Mars situation. But I don't know if we want to get into that kind of spoiler territory already. But
we've got to be careful what we discuss. But hopefully Countdown issue 3 will provide some more detail about that, because as everything at the minute, we've got Children of Mars, which kind of almost serves like an outside look at what's going on in the universe, if that makes sense. Because Children of Mars is like, there's something bigger going on here. And the way I described that story in our review was these 2 girls are very focused on their world, which is obviously their like little beef, I guess you could describe it as, between those 2. Meanwhile, something, on a galaxy-wide scale almost is going on outside the window practically. So it's, I don't know, I feel like everything's now coming together. Now, Countdown issue 3 was delayed. Supposedly it was delayed due to technical reasons or production things, which could be legit, IDW very upfront, or there is something in it which CBS and the execs thought, oh dear, let's delay it quickly so it doesn't like spoil anything. Whether they're going to tie it directly into Children of Mars or, the plot of Picard, I don't know, but something's going to happen.
I think that I think technical issues is a really great answer. I would agree with you. I think there might be a little bit something going on there, because they probably realized that perhaps this particular final Countdown comic may either confuse things or reveal things based off of the timing of it being released so close to the premiere. So they may be trying to time it out and space it out right, which in my opinion is actually a good thing, whether the reason for it is technical or not. But that to me, as much as I want to know what's going on, but that to me shows that somebody's sitting there and looking at all of the different items that are being released, whether it's the books, the comics, the whatever the tie-ins are, and are making sure that everything is being sent out in a way that makes logical sense and doesn't ruin things or doesn't confuse people unnecessarily. So that to me is great. So it means at least somebody's paying attention and being proper stewards of that information. And
they're definitely orchestrating the way we see the story of Picard. Because Children of Mars, arguably, it doesn't need to be there. Like, from what... I don't think it needs... I mean, it may support Picard, obviously we don't know just yet. However, maybe it doesn't need to be there. But they've put it there for a reason, and specifically tied it with Picard for a reason, but very small. Like, it's not upfront in your face about the supposed attack on Mars, and Picard's appearance is, 2 frames? For 2 seconds? So it's like... It's referencing it, but not a direct tie-in. So someone, like I say, they're definitely stewarding it and playing with the timeline as a whole and laying it out so we get the information bit by bit, whether that's to help us work out what is the story or, I don't know, it's very confusing. And up until we see, like, the season 1 of Picard, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah, I made that comment in a video I made the other day. At the beginning of this, it was very easy to draw the connective tissue between all these different things that were kind of going on. But now, as we're getting closer, it's getting harder and harder to do that, because I thought for sure the Countdown comic was going to tie into whatever was going on directly with Children of Mars, and that was going to be directly involved with, something that was happening in the Picard series. But now they're still connected, like a foundation of connection, but they're not as a web as I thought it was going to be. Like things were going to be directly related to one another, and it seems like these are just things that are kind of happening in general throughout the universe at this time period, and it is interesting, and it's definitely becoming more and more I guess, relative to, us as humans, but it's like kind of showcasing more and more to us as the audience that the universe is vast and there's many different things going on. Like if we really do have, this one threat over here, and then we have the Hobus supernova threat, and then we've got this Romulan threat in the comics, and we've got these are different things kind of happening all at once. And I think they're trying to expand that scope beyond just like a very linear story, which, I think Discovery kind of had more of like a linear thing where it was like, this is the Red Angel and they're doing this, or this is the Klingon War and they're doing that. And this one seems to be kind of like spreading it out a little bit to kind of remind us that this universe is vast and so many things are happening at once, which is great. I think it's very exciting because I feel like most of my theories are totally wrong at this point.
I always like that, and you might agree as well. I always like that type of content which ties in really well. So you get things that connect. I mean, Star Wars, obviously we're speaking about one, it does it very well and how things connect and tie in. Another one would be like Marvel. Their universe ties together so well. Like you watch Iron Man, eventually you watch Endgame. Things tie in and connect so well. If Star Trek's starting to do that, I'm going to like it, to be honest. And arguably Star Trek beforehand has done that very well. DS9 ties in with Voyager in a similar sort of way, low-key style. The Next Generation also ties in there. Like you see Voyager leaving from DS9 in episode 1 of Voyager. And it was the 25th anniversary of Voyager, for those who don't know, this week. So I love media that ties in like that. It's great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's like nice, like loose connections. It doesn't have to be super hard, connections, which is great. It allows for fun, like little Easter eggs for the super fans who pay attention to all that stuff. And then it also allows for them to have the freedom to kind of do their own thing without being too limited with keeping things super connected with everything that's going on. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm getting excited about it. But let's talk about the premiere, though. Let's talk.
So the premiere was really, really fun. So it was my first sort of premiere to go to. I've never been to like a film or series premiere first. Amazon put on a very good show. I don't know if you saw. They converted one of the tube stations in London. Instead of Piccadilly Circus, it was Piccadilly Circus. Which is fantastic.
Yes, I did see that.
Thank you to Continuum Trek for donating there very much. Ketwolski, most of your theories as well. We're going to have to see later. But yeah, they converted the tube station, which is fun. So I had to transfer, when I was travelling to Leicester Square for premiere, I had to get out at Piccadilly Circus, or Piccadilly Circus anyway, to get onto the next tube line. And I got out, and all you can hear is like obviously a voice actor imitating Picard going, "Please mind the gap when departing from a shuttle into this space station." It's like, what the hell's going on here? And they've literally decorated the whole station with posters, and they changed the name. It's like, this is fantastic. Amazon really went all out on the marketing for that. Some of the pictures are on our Instagram or Twitter pages. Links are down below for those who want to check it out. But yeah, the actual premiere event itself was really nice. Obviously, myself, TJ, Dom, we went down there. We put Dom in the photo pit. He came back alive, which was a good sign. Meanwhile, me and TJ did interviews. And speaking of the cast, was fantastic. Michelle Hurd and Harry Treadaway, lovely people to speak to. Michelle has got such like a very warm atmosphere, but when you talk to her, she's so welcoming. And Harry Treadaway has got a very sort of relatable atmosphere as well. And it's so cool to chat to him. And everyone else, Isa Bionis as well. Fantastic. Honestly, it was such a good event.
That's great, man. Kudos to you guys and congratulations for being able to go to that event and also being able to cover it. Really awesome. I know a lot of people would have killed for that spot. I would have loved to have been there myself, and I know a lot of fans around the world would have liked to have been there.
Soon
not just to see it, but to meet everybody like you guys got to.
The fan turn, as you mentioned there, like obviously they had the press, which is on one side of the white carpet, not a red carpet for some reason, on the white carpet, and then they had the fans on the other side. And the fans as well, I always love the way the Trekkies or the Trek community turn out really well. I think they're so supportive of it, and there's a couple of people who I see at events quite often. I think the person's called Trekker Cat. Dom, you might be able to correct me in the chat, but Trekker Cat and his wife, they always turn out in this very fantastic looking cosplay. You might have seen it on Twitter before. This time they had their the dress uniform for the Enterprise E, I believe, that sort of white dress uniform for Insurrection and Nemesis. And there you go, Dom's got it. Trekker Cat. Those guys, fantastic. I love their cosplay turnout, but it's everyone as well. You've got people in like the actual brand new Starfleet uniform turning out, and not just cosplayers. People are so supportive. It's really nice, and I love it when the Trekkies turn up to an event. But seeing everyone down there is great as well. I met with the Trekkie girls. Always good to catch up with them and have a chat. We saw them at DST. Hopefully, we can get them on to TC at some point to do a bit of a live show and chat with them. But yeah, it was great. Honestly, it's such a great event.
So, describe for me, talking about the Trekkies being there, like, describe for me like where were you guys sitting? Like what was this place like? What was the energy in the room? I know that sounds kind of like a
No, go
lame
for it.
question, but
So
what was the excitement there?
First, obviously, was outside doing the interviews and such, of which press were in their own pen, Trekkies on the other side of the white carpet. Even there, the energy there, you could really feel the Trekkies were hyped to meet Sir Patrick walking by, and all the new cast as well. And everyone's so welcoming to this new cast. It's something a lot of the actors and actresses said to us. They feel so welcomed by the Trek community, which is fantastic, I think. But we're such a good community to welcome new actors and actresses, because some communities aren't that friendly towards new actors now, and you might know that, but the Trek community seems to embrace people who come into it. I mean, I recently sat down with Amrit Carr to do an interview, which will be coming soon, and she talked very much about, how the Trek community embraced her and just welcomed her with open arms. And a lot of the Star Trek Picard cast spoke about that as well. But speaking of the energy inside, you could really feel everyone's anticipation on watching the first episode. And obviously, for disclaimer, I can't talk about the first episode yet. I don't want to spoil anything. It's also under embargo. But I can tell you, the atmosphere of people sat there watching it, you could feel like everyone was like, ooh, I'm ready for this. Like, they're bracing themselves for this next chapter in the Star Trek universe. I think that's what it is. It is the next chapter in the Star Trek universe, arguably a pretty big one. We've got a lot of more shows in progress, but this is continuing on the timeline. Yes, Discovery Season 3 is going to do that, in the future, but a lot of people consider the main sort of era of Star Trek is the 23rd century. Picard continues that on. It continues on Voyager, DS9, Nemesis into this new era of Star Trek, essentially. And a lot of people were anticipating that.
No, I would imagine so. I mean, I just based off of the comments that I see on my channel, the people I talk to, everyone is super excited to see what this really is. You're either excited to see it, period, or just excited to see where they're going with Star Trek, the franchise, and with the Picard character. Was there is there any standing ovation at the end? Were people cheering? Were people excited?
People clapped. I can tell you that. And obviously, anywhere Sir Patrick Stewart spoke or walked, he got a standing ovation, which he deserves as well. He's a very. I took one thing as well. Ian McKellen turned up, which is great. I have a list of people who turned up. Ian McKellen turned up, and Ian McKellen, if you've seen him and Sir Patrick in anything, they are a right laugh all the time. And they turned up. Ian McKellen was pretending to propose to Sir Patrick. They were kissing each other, walking down the carpet, holding hands, and those two are just hilarious. I find it's lovely to see him turn up as well. And yeah, it was just a fantastic atmosphere from everyone. The stars were on point. Everyone in the press was all friendly. Because one thing with press is what I found is everyone wants to obviously get their story for their publication, which is completely fair. So sometimes there's a bit of hostility there, but everyone was really genuine, really unique, and it was great. I know we were sitting next to the guys from Sci-Fi Bulletin, they were fantastic. Met some other guys there as well. Everyone was just great. It was such a fun event, and hopefully when a new series premieres, we'll do another premiere sometime soon. I think it'd be great.
Well, we'll be here for the second season premiere of Picard since they got greenlit. You'll be there for that too.
Oh, definitely. Interviewing, that was fun. That was the first time I interviewed any stars, and kind of nervous. Like with Issa Bionis, she was the first person I came along and I had to interview, and it's like, ooh, the first big one.
So what was your prep there? Like, she's walking up, you got to say something. What were you saying to yourself internally? Like, what was your head at?
My head was like, just ask something. Then blank. I'm like, balls. So I just asked, welcome to Star Trek Universe. How you doing? And then I jumped with a really odd question. And TJ was telling me you need to ask questions that you know a bit more on the ground. You don't ask too technical questions because, with all the buzz and action, the stars might not, if you ask what's the technical specifications of the Enterprise D? So Patrick might look at you and go, what the hell? But I asked her, on the set of Picard, who's the prankster, who's making the jokes and stuff, just to get a bit of a conversation flow, and it stalled her a little bit, and I was like, oh no. Then she's like, she told me that her, Michelle Hurd, and Alison Pill, who plays Dr. Agnes Jurati, apparently whenever they're on a set, it's a right laugh, and people are always laughing. They're the three who run around and call us mischievous. But you can watch the interviews on the channel for those who want to see it. But yeah, it was great interviewing people.
Yeah, it's great that you got to talk to. I don't want to call them the secondary cast. They're the new cast. And I've watched a lot of interviews with them. Posted up online, and with fans. Yeah. Professional interviews, it's different, but with fans, when they're taking questions from the audience, the fans usually always direct all their questions to Sir Patrick because they know Sir Patrick and they know his character. And I know that it gets a little frustrating. I'm sure it gets a little frustrating for them at times because we don't know them yet as Trekkies. We don't know who they are. We don't I don't know you. I know your character name. I know a 3-sentence bio about it. I've seen you in the trailer, but I don't know who you are. I haven't connected with you yet. And I'm hoping, and I'm very excited to see when they come through all of the conventions next year for the second season promos and all that stuff like that, and the post season 1 promos, that people are going to be way more engaged with wanting to talk to the new actors. And hopefully a couple of them rise to the top as being, you know, fan favorites or whatever it is, similar to the way Anson Mount became fan favorite for Pike and stuff like that. Like, I'm hoping that happens so that we have a whole new fresh blood of people to kind of pull questions into and talk to about and really fall in love with. So I'm very excited to see.
Oh, definitely. I think some people asked, like those there, whether they'd be interested in coming to Star Trek conventions. And I think I think Michelle Hurd said she would. And it'd be great to see her. Like I said, she has such a positive energy about her. I'd love to see her at an event, you know, talking about her character and her times on a set. And once, you know, Picard premieres and everyone can talk about it, I think, you know, the actors and actresses, they'll talk about it a bit more. We'll start hearing some behind the scenes information, which is always great, because I love hearing about what it's like on set. Because, you know, you see the episode, you think, damn, that's great. But when it like fast forwards back to or reruns back to behind the scenes, it's such a different world. I can't wait to see that. I think it's going to be great. Hey to Irish Trekkie in the chat. How's everyone doing? We'll take a quick break and talk to you guys in a minute. Irish Trekkie, of course, doing the Starship models. If you guys want to check out Starship models, particularly Hero Collectors and Eagle Mosses, head over to Irish Trekkie. He is the best reviewer around for doing those. Speaking of models, actually, I was meant to mention this at the start of the live stream, but I forgot because me and Ket here were so excited to talk about Picard. Trek Central is currently running a giveaway for a couple of Starship Picard themed items. If you head over to the link, which should be somewhere, it's Dom or Bree might be able to post the link in the chat. I have it somewhere, I think. We are doing a giveaway on Trek Central. Here it is. I've got it now. For some Hero Collector Starships and also some fan sets pins. So if you guys want to head over to that link there. Nope, I'm logged in. If one of my lovely moderators could do that, would be fantastic, because YouTube's not letting me send links to my own chat. I'm logged into
yeah, true professional. That's okay.
I'm logged into the wrong YouTube account. There we go. Logged into the CJ one still. Okay, right, here we go. There you go. Dom's just put it in. Do you guys want to come and enter a giveaway for some Hero Collector Starships, some fan sets, pins? Head over there. Very special thank you to Hero Collector and also fan sets providing some of the items. So in the giveaway, as a total, just to explain it to you, we have the XL version of the Enterprise D. Very good model. I don't have one, unfortunately. I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll send two and one will secretly make it. No, I'm joking. Hero Collector also provided the dedication plaque for USS Enterprise D. Again, Picard's iconic starship. Now, fan sets, they provided us with a #1 pin, Picard's new dog. I love that dog, by the way. Did you see the tweet we put out earlier, by the way, Kat, about the good boy?
I did.
I love that dog.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see him more.
I've seen the little clip of him and #1 talking at the vineyard and stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited to see. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm very excited.
It's a shame #1 doesn't. I think they said #1 doesn't come on the ship or anything. I remember Sir Patrick saying it a while ago. It's a shame. We need more space dogs. Archer had one. Why can't Picard? Huh?
Yeah, just put a big bowl on his head. He's good to go. Okay,
mount him with a phaser turret and let him go at some Borg or something like that, or some Romulans. Get him to shoot up the place. Anyway, fan sets have provided the Family Crest Picard pin and also the Picard logo box pin. Head over to the giveaway. Myself from Trek Central, we've also provided a QMX Star Trek communicator pin. This is the same one Picard uses in the show. It is obviously from the old days of Star Trek, the legacy stuff. They've not released new Picard themed ones yet, but you get the gist. Mm-hmm. And we've also released the autobiography of Jean-Luc Picard, which is a very good book, edited by David A. Goodman, I believe. That's all available for you to enter into a chance of winning. All you have to go to do is the link via the chat there or to our website, https://trekcentral.net, and the giveaway is up there. Enter in. It's open till February 16th, so you've got plenty of time. Share it with your friends and go for it. It's going to be great. Awesome. So, did we want to talk about the new Trek shows, or is there any more Picard stuff you wanted to ask? Any burning questions?
I guess the last question I have, and I know that you have a hard line, can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Just for the fans, because I know you and I have already talked about this, but for the people who are watching, for the audience members, what was your reaction to it? Like, how did you feel it when the credits rolled and the episode was over? What were you like? What was your initial reaction?
The one word I'll describe it as, so I can't use too much, because Amazon are probably like, is wow. I sat there and said to myself, wow, that was impressive. And I think episode 1 is a great new start to what will be, the next generation of Star Trek, essentially. That wasn't intended for me to say it like that, but you get the point. I think it's a great start. And it's a shame the UK people couldn't see all 3 episodes, because the way the LA cat or crew or just viewers were describing it was episodes 1, 2, and 3 almost serve as like a mini movie in a way. So hopefully we've not missed out on something too much there. But hey, it was still very nice. I really wanted to see all 3 episodes, but at the same time I thought then I'd have to wait like 4 weeks sat at home having to watch. Right. Like at least with episode 1, you watch it and think, the next week will go lightning fast anyway. But it's like,
Right.
I wouldn't have to wait
Yeah.
4 weeks. That might be a bit of a bugbear. But I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
you'd be stuck at episode 3 cliffhanger as opposed to just episode 1 cliffhanger, which is
ooh yeah.
it's funny, but at the same time though, that's a very real trade-off for being able to watch it sooner than the rest of us, because now you have to wait 4 weeks to see the next installment. So I hope it's torturing all of you people that got to see it at LA.
Thank you to
about
Nord for donating $2 there. Greatly appreciate all to viewers. Greatly appreciate it, man. Please continue your great work as a channel. Thank you very much. I'm happy to share, by the way, today Trek Central, or yesterday, reached 35,000 subscribers. We've done extremely well. And thank you to people like yourself, Kat, and also all of you who are watching the supporting the channel. We've grown insanely within less than a year now. So maybe... he's getting the wine. Maybe we can. The grand goal is 50k by I think June, maybe. So maybe we can do 50k subscribers. I reckon with Picard we might be able to do it. It's gonna be great. We're on course to deliver you some fantastic Star Trek content, and with Star Trek Picard we can't wait to deliver you more stuff. It's gonna be great. Do you have an answer for episode 1? Who or what are the Sims? I can't tell you anything. No, I can't tell it. Amazon will snipe me through the head any minute now. That Alexa over there will activate and kill me instantly.
They're listening for sure.
Probably
I have
are.
one too, and they're listening there as well for sure. Jeff Bezos got his headset on and he's listening in. That's for
So
sure.
Iris just said he loves the bottle of the wine there. Now, me and TJ had a fantastic idea. For anyone wondering, TJ is my assistant editor for TC. We wanted to take a trip to the actual Chateau Picard winery, and as in the real one, not the filming one, and see about it. Basically, talk about the winery while the people behind the camera get pissed on the wine. But I thought that was a good idea. That was like a work trip we was going to plan for TC.
I think that sounds like a great work trip.
Another idea I
live
had
in the US, so if you need a correspondent out there.
Another idea I had was, let's go to Iceland and visit the Discovery Season 3 filming locations. That'd be great.
I think that's a great idea.
Speaking of which, by the way, obviously we know Discovery has sort of informally been confirmed for Season 4, hasn't it? We learnt this news a while back via Production Weekly, but a 04 of Discovery has popped up. CBS have yet to confirm it. Most likely the reason this hasn't been confirmed yet, if it is true, is because they're focusing on all things Picard, which makes perfect sense. If you're a marketing person, right, you wouldn't want Discovery or something else stealing your thunder at the moment. Although it's all part of one big Star Trek universe, it wouldn't make sense to, for Discovery to steal its thunder. Obviously, Picard's also been officially renewed for Season 2 as well, which is fantastic before it starts. Yep. I think that's great. I can't wait to see more of this.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, so we definitely got the soft news in regards to Discovery Season 4, which is not surprising. It doesn't surprise me at all, considering that they probably have increased their focus on continuing to expand the Star Trek brand. I don't think removing a show at this point is a good idea, especially since the other ones are still trying to get their own traction. I think cutting one of the ones that already has sets built right off at the knees this early in the game is probably a little too soon. Whether we get another season after 4 is a different question altogether. But yeah, it makes sense that they went and got the fourth one. And I think you're 100% right. I think their full court press with making sure that all PR and fan focus is zeroed in on the premiere of Star Trek Picard, because it has to be big. It has to be big, which it will be. So yeah, I think once Picard's out for maybe about halfway through and people are kind of going through those motions, and then they're going to be like, oh yeah, anyways, here's more Discovery Season 3, and not only here's Season 3 stuff, but boom, here's the Season 4 announcement as well.
I think it's going to be interesting how they lay this shit out, because we've got Picard right up until March. I think based off of me looking at the calendar a minute ago, it ends somewhere in the middle of March, because it's 10 episodes, so it ends in the middle of March somewhere. Then I presume, logically, there'll be maybe a month or 2 break. I don't expect them to drop Discovery instantly. They're going to want to build up a little bit of hype for the Season 3 premiere, which makes sense, I think. Would you agree?
I would. I know that Alex Kurtzman had said that they want it set so that they have Star Trek on all the time on CBS All Access, to prevent people from just dropping their, essentially their accounts until another Star Trek show comes out. Now, I don't think he literally meant
every second.
Picard's off this week and Discovery's on the next week. I don't think he literally meant it that way. I think you're right to say that there'll be a little bit of a break in between there, and then they're going to do the PR push, and then boom, here comes the Discovery premiere, and then as that's going on, they're going to be prepping the next set of shows that we know about, and the 2 new ones that we kind of just got a little bit of knowledge about. So
I mean, if we look at calendar estimates, say Picard ends in March, I'd say April's probably going to be a blank month, nothing much anyway. I believe CBS might have it up front, like production stuff during that time where they reveal new content. So possibly we might see a trailer for season 3 or the official season 4 announcement. Maybe we might see it in May, but honestly, I'm going to predict June might be when Discovery arrives. And that'll follow through to probably September, maybe very early October, depending on how many episodes. I think it's 12 episodes they have this time. Is it 12 or 14 or 10? I can't remember off the top of my head.
For Discovery?
Yeah.
I think it's either 12 or 12 to 14 episodes. I don't think they went for I don't think it's the full 14. I think it might be 12 or like 13.
Okay,
perhaps,
we'll presume 12. So
Yeah.
I'm going to predict that's going to, air in by at least June and then follow through to end of September, I'd say, if that's the plan. And then maybe if Lower Decks is on course, of which people are saying it is, then I'm going to say that's going to kickstart in October. And then Picard Season 2, providing all goes to plan, will air again in January in 2021. Christ, that's a long time to think away by now. Ooh,
It is.
We'll be there someday.
We will. We'll get to 2021. Whether by hook or by crook, we'll get there. But yeah, I think that you're right. I think that as long as it stays on track the way it's supposed to, and then they're going to probably shove some short treks in there somewhere as well in between some of the shows, possibly after Discovery, because they usually release them after Discovery. Maybe I'm anticipating the animation show is going to take a little bit longer, so they may try to shove some short treks in there to cover that ground, so that they give Lower Decks some more time to get things going.
So people asking about where you can watch stuff. So for Star Trek Picard, this is not us advertising, by the way. You can watch Star Trek Picard via CBS All Access on the 23rd, which is a Thursday. For some reason, I keep thinking it's a Wednesday. It's Thursday the 23rd, so this coming week. And then, obviously, for international viewers, you can watch on Amazon Prime literally less than 24 hours later on Amazon Prime Video for international viewers. For Canada, it's on Crave, the streaming platform, and also CTV Sci-Fi Channel, I believe. But all the details are on StarTrek.com if you want to go check them, and I'll also put them on the TC website later. We're doing a video this week called Everything You Need to Know About Star Trek Picard, so if you're not fully up to date yet, tune in probably on Tuesday when we drop that video, Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll give you everything you need to know to be ready to watch Star Trek Picard. Yes.
Yeah, one thing I want to add to that, though, too, is because I know some people have asked that. Right now, I'm tracking the Picard show to be dropped on CBS All Access on the 23rd at around 8:30 p.m.
Awesome.
Probably Eastern Standard Time.
You think Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to place it as LA time or West, but
That's the info I grabbed. So the source on that that I have here is from TV Line.
Oh, okay.
That's where I grabbed that from. Yeah, so that could be wrong, but I think the Discovery ones usually came out around that time. I think they maybe even came out around 9. I think it was for Discovery. I always watched it the day later, so I'm not 100% sure, but I would imagine it's going to be around 8:30 or 9 o'clock that night.
So Ian Bull just asks, so I'm guessing when you start your content will be on Amazon Prime, how long will Discovery stay on Netflix? This is a really interesting question. I believe we discussed it slightly before, is what they're going to do with this. For the minute, it appears Discovery and its related medias, including short treks, looks to be staying on Netflix, whereas anything Picard related looks to be on Amazon. For international viewers. Obviously, if in the US, everything for that is going to be on CBS All Access, your one-stop destination for all things Star Trek, which is good because it's nice to have things in one space. I think for us, or at least for myself, not you, for international viewers, it's a little bit annoying, having to bounce between Amazon and Discovery. I'm in a lucky position where I have both accounts anyway. However, it's a bit annoying. So if I just want to watch Star Trek, I'd like to just have to subscribe to one platform. It's a bit annoying. So whether they're going to rethink that deal in the future, we don't know. We presume, Discovery Season 3 is on Netflix. I think it's concrete confirmed, but they've not made a big song and dance about anything yet. So I guess we'll wait and see if it is official or there's something else going on behind the scenes. It really wouldn't surprise me if they jump ship to Amazon. Amazon look to be doing a great job at promoting Picard and doing a lot of stuff around there. And I'm liking Amazon, to be honest. They've, their premiere was really good. So I don't know, maybe there could be something interesting set up there. We'll have to see.
No, I agree with you. Amazon is clearly, maybe that's just because Jeff Bezos has said that he's a huge Trek fan.
He's a huge sci-fi fan.
Yeah, he is. That's very true. They have clearly understood the potential for the Picard show and for the brand of Star Trek. And I think that part of that push that they did with this huge premiere and stuff like that wasn't just to show like how much they care about Picard, but I think it was also a bit of a resume building type situation where they're like, look how we're handling this show
Yeah.
Give us your other shows and we'll keep treating you in this fashion, which is something that you were not getting with Netflix. Netflix wasn't doing these things internationally for you.
Speaking of which,
We are.
Alex Kurtzman and Sir Patrick Stewart actually spoke about this at the Q&A session they did after episode 1 showing, and I can talk about the Q&A session as everyone tweeted it all out anyway, so we also tweeted it out as well. No, I don't think we're allowed to film it though, so there's no footage of it, unfortunately, so you're just going to have to play it by word. So Patrick Stewart and Alex Kurtzman did mention how Amazon Prime have treated them well. Apparently Jeff Bezos invited them all over to their headquarters in LA, I think it is, or somewhere. You know where the headquarters is. Apparently he gave them a personal tour around the entire Amazon Prime video studios, showed them the head office and everything, and treated them really well. So, there's something going. There's definitely a good relationship between there, at least between Alex Kurtzman and CBS's executive board and Amazon Prime. So something's going on there. And Amazon Prime definitely have a lot of power to push everything everywhere. And also, I think one thing, a topic comes up in discussion, and I'm sort of going on a trail here, but merchandise for Star Trek. CBS have got their own merch on StarTrek.com. Unfortunately, it doesn't ship internationally anymore on StarTrek.com. It's only US people and I believe Canada can get it. So Amazon have actually started doing Star Trek merch recently. If I go to Amazon.co.uk now, and if anybody else wants to test this, if you're in an international country, particularly in the EU, go to Amazon and see if you can order Star Trek merch off there. So it seems like Amazon also now being a holder for merch, which is good, because arguably Amazon is the greatest online retailer in the world. They hold the most power in the industry for that at the minute. So from a business point of view, Amazon is very appealing if you want to tick a lot of boxes with one deal. It's like, okay, you have Star Trek Picard, yeah, we'll do the merch as well. Bingo, done, sorted.
Yep, I discussed that in a video I did maybe 6 months ago, where I did a Netflix versus CBS video, and I discussed one of those big reasons that clearly they would have went to Amazon is because now not only can I log into one thing, which is Amazon, which a lot of people already use and they already are normally logged into, so they don't have to worry about logging into Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
So not only is it in one location, but now I can click buy the DVDs when they come out or the Blu-rays when they come out, or link me straight to the store page for this particular show and immediately purchase all the things that I want to from the show that I'm watching. And it clearly makes sense that they would go that route. And I think it's a great thing that's something that Netflix cannot offer them at all, because it's just, that's not what their brand is. They're just the video streaming site, which works, but that's not what CBS is worried about, because CBS knows, Viacom CBS now, but CBS knows that the real money for Star Trek is the merchandise and selling that stuff for years and years, decades after the shows have long gone off the air. That is a huge pot of money, and I think that they're willing and looking to try to engage like you said, the largest online retailer on the planet. Why the heck wouldn't they put their show on their platform?
They offer a platform for everything with Prime Directive. I wish you could say it all week. And I think you've discussed this before about how merchandise basically prolonged Star Trek's existence. Ever since the original series went off air, merch was the thing, almost, put money in CBS's account and eventually convinced them almost to continue into the next generation. And then they did a ton of merch of that. I don't think you had much Voyager merch, but even still today, you can buy all the TOS stuff. I mean, on my desk at the minute, this is what Amazon were doing. I can show it to the webcam now. These are the fan sets, the new Starfleet badges. They were giving these away at the event, so thank you to Fansets and also Prime Video. I wanted one of these for ages. But the merchandise they do for everything, we've got ship models. I've got Eagle Moss's starships everywhere in my office at the minute. The merchandise for Star Trek is massive. So Amazon operates a very good thing. And I just quickly looked up Star Trek Picard here on Amazon. And as soon as you search it up to go to the series, although there's nothing on there yet apart from a trailer, you've already got official gifts for Star Trek fans here. I can click shop now straight from the view page. And apparently they're now selling Star Trek umbrellas. We're not selling these to you, by the way, viewers. It's what's available by Amazon. Also a scarf.
Yeah. Also, if you want one, go ahead and use. I was kidding. I'm kidding.
But they've got here. They've got a dedicated Star Trek store, which is showing Picard, Discovery, Next Gen, Voyager, and Enterprise, and the header. And you've got it all here. You've got Monopoly, more scarves, a lot more scarves. I'm noticing a theme here. They've got it all on Amazon.
That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, the thing that I touched on a lot in the video that I did was, because a lot of people were saying, well, this means this is the death of Star Trek because Netflix refused to air any more Star Trek, which is, I think, a laughable concept when you really think about it. That's not a concept that exists, especially when you consider all the garbage that Netflix puts out, but that's a different thing altogether. But when you look at the benefit of Amazon Prime, because I can even go and watch Discovery right now with my CBS All Access account through my Amazon account, just like you can. I can do that. But Netflix doesn't allow for you to do that. If you want to watch it, you have to have a Netflix account. But with like the way it's set up right now, I could go on there and use my CBS All Access account, which is just a front. Amazon is just a page portal. I'm logging in with my Access account and I'm watching it from there. So that's giving CBS the numbers and Amazon the numbers because I have to subscribe to both in order to get access to them. And it's just a better business model, I think. It just makes perfect sense. Like I'm actually surprised they didn't do that to begin with. Why they went with Netflix first is actually kind of a head scratcher, really, when you think about it. But anyways, I could talk about that all night. But
Jennifer Wood just donates saying, Ketwolski, have you tried the wine? I do see the bottles on your shelf. So have you tried any of it yet?
I have not. So I will be, for the premiere, I will be dipping into this one here, which is the Federation of Planets Old Vine Zinfandel, the Special Reserve. I will be dipping into this particular bottle because I got both of them because I'm that big of a loser. And I got.
No,
so
good.
I will be dipping into that one. I will not be dipping into the Chateau Picard bottle. That one will probably be, I don't know, probably sealed for the rest of my life. I most likely will be buried with it. It's not a big deal, but it's definitely already in the will, so it's fine. But so no, I will be trying them though. So these guys will be drank next week. I should probably get this guy ready to go. So, but that will be coming.
Unfortunately, I'm in the UK and they don't ship to the UK, even though it comes from France and it probably has to go through the UK. But I might just email them and going, hey, Trek Central would like to try and review your stuff. We should do that. Starship Picard reviews with a dash of Picard wine.
That's right, exactly.
The reviewer drunk the whole bottle before reviewing this, so get ready.
That's the only way to review. Okay.
That would be quite good.
Yeah, I should have bought 10 bottles, one for every episode.
Well, actually, funny you say that. When it first was announced, I wrote an article. I think it was announced the same weekend as DST, and I was sat in the hotel somewhere, and I wrote the article for our website, and I noticed they were selling the actual boxed crates. You could, you see in the Picard trailer, one of the teasers, I think we was talking about it today, the first teaser we got for Picard in May last year. Don't correct me on that one. I think it's May. They showed the crates of Picard in it. You see them in the comic as well, and you've read a lot of promo material, especially the Vineyard promo material. You could buy the crates from the company. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I want it. Because if I was to build like a TC set, and we've spoken about this before, getting more of our content for Trek Central on camera, I'd love to have one of those boxes propped up in the background somewhere, just as like a set thing. I think it'd be great, especially because Picard is current at the minute.
For sure. I mean, and it's a legacy item, and you know, Chateau. The Picard Vineyard is a staple of Star Trek now because of TNG and everything, and I think it's a long lasting staple of the franchise. And yeah, having the crate is cool. If I didn't have the option when I went on their website because I pre-ordered it before they were even available. I pre-ordered it as the day they announced. So I think it was like 5 months before they were even available to be shipped. And yeah, so the option to buy the crate wasn't even on there for me at the time.
Oh, really?
I should have. Yeah, if it was, I would have probably purchased it.
I think it might have came up around December. I'm not sure. I checked, but I'm just checking the website again there. But yeah, while that's loading, we can come back to it in a minute. Speaking about similar merch things, Eagle Moss have like hinted that they're going to prep some Star Trek Picard stuff. And obviously they've got their Discovery collection running. Now, presumably when certain ships show up in Picard, you know, I imagine they're going to do stuff like that. So I think I wanted to touch on this topic as well because we spoke about it between myself and you, and there's a bit of a topic on Twitter about it. I know Trekker Prize, is it? Our friend Gary, he was talking a lot about it. The ships in Picard, obviously a lot of people saw the Children of Mars thing, and that upset a little bit of people because they thought, oh, they're not using new designs. Obviously, it'd be nice. I think we can all agree, whether we was annoyed by it or not, it would have been lovely to see like a Half-Through Intrepid or Galaxy class sat there, or, you know, the Enterprise E in that short trek, but it wasn't needed. So it looks like we are going to get new ships in Picard. Don't know when they're going to show up, but the fact Eagle Moss, or Hero Collectors we're calling him, it looks like Ben has said they're going to do something, which is like a low-level hint that a collection might be coming. I think we are going to see new ships in Picard. I just want to touch on this and wonder what your thoughts are on modern-day Star Trek ships, because we've seen some so far, like the La Serena, if it's in the, or La Serena, how you want to pronounce that, it's in the trailer. We've not seen a very good look at it. They're keeping that sort of secret. But we've also seen these supposedly synth ships and also these Romulan things and the weird Borg cube we keep seeing popping up, which switches between green and blue, apparently. That's somewhere. Apparently. So what's your thoughts on that one?
I think we're going to get... I think we're going to get a La Serena. I think we're going to get the Prison Cube. We're going to get a redone Romulan Tavaro class Warbird. I think that we're going to definitely see this synth ship and the other Romulan flying ship that we've kind of seen in different kind of little trailers. And I think it was at one of the, I think it was at Destination Star Trek where you could see it in like, if you could walk through the Borg cube area,
That was
there was like a
CCXP.
ship that was, oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So it was like sitting there like in a picture. That one will probably get that. Yeah, I think that we are definitely going to get a lot of new ships. And if I'm being honest, like we've talked a little bit about the controversy surrounding the reuse of the starship models that they had for Children of Mars, but it really doesn't bother me all that much. But I think it was done for two reasons. One, money, because these things cost money.
That scene appeared there for like 5 seconds total. Like I say, it doesn't. Correct. There's no need to make an entire new thing, and especially if they want to keep Picard secret. They don't want to show off anything new yet, as you were saying.
Right? No, that was my second.
I've stolen it.
That was my second thing, which is they don't want to show us the new ships. Like they don't want us to see them yet. Like if you want to see the new stuff, you're gonna have to stay subscribed to CBS All Access or Amazon Prime or the Space TV thing, and you're gonna have to wait and see them in the show. We're not going to show them to you in the short treks. You're going to have to wait. And that's, to me, is one of the reasons. And maybe that's them being greedy, maybe that's them being stingy with us as fans, but they're running a business and I understand it. I, of course, would have loved to have seen a remastered version of a Galaxy class starship, like you said. I mean, we saw like the digital image in Starfleet headquarters.
It shows they've not forgotten it. Like you just said, the Enterprise D there, it's not like they're retconning stuff or forgetting it, because that Enterprise D that appears in the hologram thing in what is the lobby of Star Trek HQ, I believe, is actually the Anaheim Convention Center. A week before they filmed that, I was actually in it for a VidCon event, which is eerily odd. But yeah, they would have had to have built a 3D model for that hologram thing. I don't know much about VFX design. Someone might be able to tell us more, but I'm pretty sure to even get that hologram sort of looking thing there and the way it's probably going to appear in a show, at least a mesh model would have to have been built for them to animate that and put it in there.
Absolutely.
So they've done an entirely new Galaxy class for something. There's definitely going to be stuff there. And obviously we've got the Verity in the comic. I wouldn't be surprised if a similar ship of its class, of which is the Odyssey from STO, makes an appearance. Speaking of which, Star Trek Online has got some announcement coming this Tuesday, I think. They're up to something at the minute, so maybe some details in there. Speaking of which, you play Star Trek Online, don't you, of Z Films, who's a fantastic friend of the channel, does some great videos, check him out. Do you think they're going to change Star Trek Online's story? I know we're going off on a tangent in a minute, but it's a good discussion.
They've talked about it.
Yeah.
They have discussed it. I've watched maybe 2 or 3 of their live stream things, which are difficult to get through because it's kind of like all over the place. But their lead guy has talked about it a few times, and I know that they have said that they would, and then they said that they wouldn't. They kind of wanted to keep them different.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've handled this before, though. This isn't the first time they've had to deal with this, because they had to do it with Discovery. They also did it with the Kelvin shows. They did this whole temporal Cold War storyline to wrap up that whole thing, plot thread from Enterprise. Like, they're very, very comfortable with different timelines and essentially the multiverse of Trek on the video game, which is easier to do because it's a video game. People don't take it that seriously, and it's easier to kind of convey that. So do I think that they're going to rewrite the entirety of the backstory of Star Trek Online? I don't know. I would love that, because I think that would really reinvigorate that game to bring people back to replay it, because obviously all the initial missions and stuff would be different. But I think that it would be too much work because of all of the, not to spoil too much about the STO storyline, but the Romulans play such a substantial role in their connection to what happened with Hobus, what happens with the Iconians, how it threatens the galaxy, and how the galaxy forms into an alliance. And all of that stuff is so intertwined that to start pulling those elements out because Picard is doing something different, I think essentially force them to create an entirely new game, because now all of the storylines are going to be impacted. So I don't think that I'd love it, but I don't think that they will. I think that they'll do something where that's an alternate reality that we wind up in, or something like that. I think that's what they're going to probably do.
I think something is definitely going to happen there. And I think one of our viewers or readers put a comment out on our Facebook page recently speaking about this, and how they might do a sort of thing where, Spock supposedly stopping the Hobus supernova and him vanishing, that obviously caused the Kelvin timeline as we know it. Right. So possibly they could do something there where maybe with how the Countdown comic ties in, etc. Something could happen where the current existing, I guess, what we can call timeline of STO to refer it to that, or its own universe, somehow becomes not obsolete, but what happened before, and then they could graciously align everything with Picard. It's a way to do it, and it wouldn't forget the story, but it would be a lot of work to shift things, and could get confusing for the average player. Not only do the game developers there have to think about, the Star Trek story, they have to think about their player base as well. If you alienate your player base, then you shut the doors. That's it. You don't have any players anymore. It's a very hard thing to think about.
It is, right? Because right now, like, if you're a person that's not played it before or hasn't played it in a while, and you see Picard show, and you're like, this is awesome, and I want to see what's going on here, and they log into Trek Online, and it's a totally different story. You're going to be like, what the hell is going on? I thought that the Romulans were doing this, and that happened, and and it's a totally different thing. So they're going to have to do something. I don't know what it is. I would love to get like a radical announcement of them being like, we're going to make a whole new game with a whole new engine, and we're just going to reboot the story based off of what's happening. That would be awesome, but I don't know if they have the money for that.
Yeah,
that might be too much.
Recently, because I'm obviously, my background, as people might know, is I'm in the games industry. I run another gaming YouTube channel, so I follow a lot of games industry news. Unfortunately, recently, Perfect World, who is involved with Star Trek Online, they have a publisher, I believe, they recently closed their Amsterdam office, or one of their offices in the Europe, and laid off, I think, about 20 staff, which may not sound that big. However, laying off 20 staff, or at least one staff, it's a big thing that they're now shuttling stuff back to, the US, essentially. So, I don't know, it's tough times for game developers at the moment. So, I don't know, it's interesting. We'll have to wait and see their announcement. Hopefully it's going to be this Tuesday, if not some other time. But I'm excited to see what Star Trek Online, how it ties in with Picard and goes from there. But yeah, anyway, that was a big tangent we went off on then.
It's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So, should we talk about the 2 live-action series that are supposedly in production, or are in production, as Kurtzman confirmed? Now, I think the big obvious one, which we spoke about, you've spoken about, a Pike series. Everyone wants it. I want it. You want it. DJ, I think she definitely wants it somehow. So
yeah, you mean the Pike show, the Pike fan Facebook page? Yeah, I think she kind of wants it a little bit.
So yeah, Alex Kurtzman recently confirmed that there are 2 currently live action shows which we don't know anything about, are actively in production at CBS at some level. They are being thought about. I don't think they're filming as of yet. It's just they are in some level of production, most likely heavy pre-production, which is probably where they're putting scripts together and stuff like that. This is besides Section 31, by the way. That currently is about to go in production. We recently verified by a source that it looks like that show's going into pre-production. They're getting their gear together, and they're going to start filming probably in May, is my estimate, April, May, but whenever Discovery Season 3 is completely finished filming. So yeah, 2 new series. We obviously think Pike series is number 1. Do you have any thoughts on what the next or the second series could be?
Well, so it could go. So the other element of that raises curiosity is the re-up that CBS recently did for their patent for the IP hold on Star Trek SETI Alpha 5.
Yes.
And then also their re-up for Star Trek Academy, and that could mean anything. Those could be anything. Like they could be doing. Like they're listed as digital media platform shows, like in the IP, so there will be something visual in that regard. Like if it was a book or something like that, they'd have to register it in that fashion. But they registered it as if it was going to be a show or potentially a movie. And I think that there's a better likelihood that we'll get a Academy series. I think that's another thing that a lot of people have asked for, and it's an area that we don't really spend a lot of time on really inside of Star Trek. Like we're there for brief periods of time and then we go off onto an adventure. And I think it's interesting that something that Alex Kurtzman talked about in an interview maybe a week or 2 ago, where he said that we spend probably the first chapter of the Picard show is spent on Earth, which is kind of unheard of for a Star Trek show. Usually they all take place elsewhere with occasional visits to Earth here and there.
Yeah.
But because he's interested in hanging out on Earth and doing Earthbound things, I think it's likely that he's going to want to continue to expand that and utilize their skill set to do a Academy series, which I think is really cool, because then you could also do potentially some crossover episodes with Pike, depending on what time period they put it in, if they do it in the TOS era, because we do know that Pike at some point goes to become a kind of an Academy instructor type position. That's where he gets injured on. That's the, that, and we got to see that kind of flash, inside of Discovery season 2. So that could also be something that they could be working on as well, kind of to tie those two things together, which would be very exciting.
I think it comes down to the type of series they want to produce. I think it's even Michelle Powell as a Heather Caden who said this recently. It comes down to what type of series they want to produce and how each series is going to be different from the other. Basically, they don't want to create the same thing. We don't want another Picard Mark II series. I think we as viewers would get bored of that. If they did like a Pike series in the same style as a Picard one, I think we would get bored of that. We get bored of watching the same media over and over again. If every show was the same style, design, type for the entire 12 months of the year, I think we'd all get bored of it. I would definitely get bored of it. I like new, fresh, invigorating content, which is going to surprise me. So what the executive team of Star Trek have been saying recently is they want every show to feel unique. So obviously Discovery is arguably very dramatic and action-focused. Picard, as Michael Chabon and the other executives have described, is very grounded. It's focused on his character and the next chapter in this man's life. Section 31, I think we can argue, is going to be about secret agencies and stuff like that, and most likely Michelle Yeoh kicking ass as per usual. Lower Decks is going to be a comedy, and the other two animated ones are going to be, one's kids related, so that's going to be very kids entertainment and stuff like that. So each series is going to have a unique feel to it. Personally, I would like if this Pike series, if supposedly it is in development, and they've got that Bridge of the Enterprise, which you don't build an entire set to use it for 2 episodes and a couple of short treks. I would like that series to have a traditional Star Trek feel to it. Now, this is not me saying, I don't like the new modern Star Trek. I would like a traditional Star Trek thing where, every episode we go off and do something different, or there's some story about exploration, that traditional Trek media. How it started, where, Kirk and his crew going around exploring planets and solving missions, basically like solving crime, essentially. I would love a Pike series to follow that format. I may speak for myself there. Guys in the chat and everyone, let us know if you'd like a series like that, the traditional type of stuff. That's my opinion on it.
No, I agree, dude. I think that's the head-on, a standard 5-year mission type situation. And we get to see them going off and doing different things, because there is a period of time. And I know they got to play a little fast and loose with the dates, because they were coming up. I think they were like where Pike was inside of Discovery Season 2, put them around 9 years away from Kirk taking command.
Yeah, so he's due basically another 5-year mission, I think. They could, to be honest, the timeline is very flexible around there to a degree. This is not me saying we should overwrite it. I think they could probably, if it's going to be like, it's a year off, I think they could probably change it slightly so that, the 5-year mission fits in with the timeline there and matches up. I could see them doing that, but that could be very interesting. I'd love it if they did something like that. That would be amazing.
I think that they will. So you're saying that they're playing fast and loose with the timeline? So you're saying Alex expect canon? Is that what you're saying?
I should show myself out.
That's right. Yeah.
It works for the MCU, so why not? See, like also said, it works for the MCU, so you have all these shows tied in there. It could be very good. I'm from the original Star Trek fan. A lot of people are original Star Trek fans, and I think maybe they could connect with the Pike series very well there, because it could be that original style, but with a fresh new look. And I think that could be a very good aspect of Trek, which may need to be explored a lot more. We've got a lot of you guys sending us some good ideas here, something Dax related. We spoke about this about Discovery Season 3. It appears there's a trill in that. A lot of people theorize it was Dax. I think you mentioned that one as well, didn't you?
I did. I hope it's not, and has nothing to do with Dax at all. But I don't want a Star Wars situation where there's only like 6 families and and everyone's related. I don't want that. So I don't hate the idea of Dax being there, but if there are Trill, obviously based off the trailer. There's going to be Trill. The Trill pool's there. There's other Trill on screen. So I hope that we get other Trill characters, and if Dax shows up, cool. I mean, I think that would be fun. That would be like a great nod to Deep Space Nine, which they have to. I think they should start doing at some point to really, because they got Voyager characters in Picard, and so the next one that they have to really start kind of acknowledging a little bit, in my opinion, is Deep Space Nine. And how can you do that? Because a lot of those characters may not be around these different time periods anymore, but the best way to do that would be Dax. That's an easy way to do that.
I have to interrupt you urgently.
Oh, sorry.
A new Picard trailer has just dropped. It's on Twitter. It's
let's watch it live. We're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a
should we
live
send it
reaction.
up live? Let me drag it onto Twitter a sec.
Yeah, I'm going right now to Star Trek.
It's just come out on Star Trek.
One treat in the last hour. Oh gosh, I can't imagine what.
Let me just quickly put this into Firefox.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't. Oh,
It's
freaking out. We were literally just talking about this. We
What
were
the
literally
fuck?
just talking.
Let me quickly boot up a browser a minute. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, this is. I am gonna have to. Well, I guess this is the rest of my night.
I was going to sleep, but now it looks like we're analyzing this one, or you're helping us with this. All right, everyone, let's put it up to you guys so you can see it as well. We should be able to show you on this screen here. Let me just quickly grab this for you.
Yeah, I watched the first. We literally just talked about the Enterprise D. That's the first thing that shows up when you click on it.
Right, viewers, have a look at this. We'll do screen capture so it's easy for everyone.
Okay.
Mine's capture desktop 2. No, that's desktop 1. Boom, right, let's drag this out. Whee! Alright, everyone in the chat, get ready. Here you go as you look at this trailer. Right, engage. Please, Twitter. There we go.
All that silence. I'd forgotten how much I loved it.
You really want to go back out into the cold?
I may never pass this way again.
Hush, my love. The sky is tearing up. There's tensions above.
One is never safe from the past. I want you to reinstate me for one mission. The past is written, but the future is left for us to write. Engage.
And beautiful.
That is...
I don't want the game to
Amazing.
end.
Wowie. I'm like, you're on big screen. The screen just snapped back into you, go...
Yeah.
That is intense. Let's begin the download of that trailer really quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and retweet that. I could punch them in the face. They this is what I'm talking about. Right at the end there, they are using the SDCC version of Data's face again.
I think it must be they've prepped these trailers ahead of time and thinking they're scheduled. But wow, that was... All right, people in the chat, tell us what you thought there. What was your favorite? The Enterprise D. Fucking... we were literally just talking about it as well. For
We
God's sakes.
literally were, and there's a hero shot of too. We don't get the full one, but there's a steady shot of it as well.
That's
we were just talking about
amazing. And there's also that song used in there is very interesting.
That's a beautiful song. Very emotional trailer. Yeah. Gosh, what a wow. That's awesome.
I know what we're doing for the next couple of hours. We're breaking this trailer down. Don't worry, everyone. A trailer breakdown will be with you by morning.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this live stream here. Yeah.
But yes. So what were we talking about? We were talking about the new shows, weren't we? Obviously Academy, Pike, and stuff like that. I think we wrapped up that conversation there. But looking to what else we was going to discuss, I think that mostly is everything, isn't it? But I guess we could quickly talk about that trailer there. That's got a lot of
yeah.
So letting it play on my screen there. They're definitely
I
they're
see.
playing
There's
up
that
to this
beautiful shot
Legend
there.
Returns. It's, you know, also we see those Romulan warbirds again, or whatever they are.
We do. We see
And
the
I did see
Romulan
a
ships.
beautiful moment in here of Elnor, played by Evan Evagora, and also Jonathan Del Arco's Hugh. Fantastic shot. I'll extract this and put it on Twitter later if anyone wants to see it. But wow, that's those two characters are in. I got to speak to Jonathan at the premiere and also Evan Evagora as well. He told me what his sword is called. It's apparently called a Tunkalunk or something like that. Don't quote the pronunciation of that. We all know I'm bad with them.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know about that.
it's some sort of weird sword, and obviously his character who was revealed is raised by a group of warrior nuns or something like that, an all-female sect of warrior nuns, which sounds very weird. So I can't wait to see how that plays out.
It's interesting that they went with a sword, though, because swords, they do have a bit of a relevance to Star Trek Online, the part of the Romulan storyline. There's a little bit of not a whole lot, not a lot, but there is a plot line in a few of the missions where a sword is important to what's going on there. Yeah, so it's interesting that they went that way, and I'm actually excited about to see what the legacy is of that type of sword, or if it's like family related or what it is. Like, obviously, it's an heirloom that they left Romulus with, so it's obviously got some importance to it. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
It's something, you know, and I think Could you pull up a screenshot of La Serena from a trailer? I don't have one at the moment, unfortunately. I'd have to extract it out of there, but we'll post one on Twitter. So come follow us on Twitter. I'm sure Ket will post one as well. We'll shove it up there. That was a beautiful shot of the La Serenas. We've not seen a good shot of that forever, really. They've been really I don't be discussing. They've been really secretive of not showing us the La Serenas. But I don't know. It's going to be fast.
I can't believe they put the D. The D's in there. There it is. There it is. The Galaxy class starship.
Do you know what? The La Serenas really reminds me of the bloody Normandy from Mass Effect for some reason.
It does. It does look like that. It really does. It actually reminds me of another ship that they Star Trek Online, which was actually one of the summer event ships that you got from Ryza. Was what it really reminds me of. But
I wonder if it is that class. It could be really interesting if it was. One of those obsolete ships that's appeared in ST or something. That could be really interesting.
It might be, because they definitely pulled elements. I mean, they had several. Shaban and them had definitely. They talked about they had several meetings with the guys over at STO to talk about plot lines and different things, different elements that they had in the game that they were just gathering information. So it's possible. I think that's where they got the Odyssey class from. Like, they didn't just go way off script and make a whole new ship. They got the Odyssey class vessel from Star Trek Online, which is great.
I really hope we see that on screen. Obviously, we don't know for what ships we're going to see yet, and ships are a very big part of the Star Trek universe. We discussed this earlier in the stream for anyone wondering. I hope, at least, even if it's in the background, I want an Odyssey on my screen somewhere. That's one of my top 10 wishes, or the top first wish probably for Picard. I want to see the Verity, the Enterprise F. Oh, the Enterprise F would be fantastic. I know they do want to make this series with the Enterprise F, and it's not what Picard is about, but just a little cameo at the end.
Yeah, if you think that they're not going to put the Enterprise F in this,
you know what's going to happen, though?
They absolutely will.
As soon as they show it, people will be wanting a series on the Enterprise F. I see comments all the time about an Enterprise B series.
You say that, but as I was saying, I also want to see what's going on that ship.
Recently,
what's happening on the Enterprise F?
We did a video about the Enterprise F recently, which Adam, one of our new voice presenters, did that one. He voiced it for us. And the voice actor for Captain Vakil Sean, who is the actual captain in Star Trek Online of the Enterprise F, commented on it and said he loved the video. And I was hoping to get to chat with him at some point. He's called David, and talk to him about what his role is. Like, essentially, he is the next captain of the Enterprise, really. Although he's not on screen, he's voicing the captain. I'd love it if they could bring that to live action, even just a reference. Seeing it on screen would be fantastic. Really, realistically, we are in a brand new... I think we'll start ending off here because we're going to go into a really weird tangent any minute. But we are in a brand new age of Star Trek where I am really excited for what Picard is going to bring to the table. New stories, new ships, and obviously I can't talk too much about episode 1, but wow, we're on track for 10 episodes of a fantastic story. And Michael Chabon and Kirsten Beer, I spoke to them at Premiere as well. Lovely people to speak to. I asked Kirsten Beer, when we saw the interview, about a Janeway appearance, because she wrote a lot of Voyager books, and she hinted season 2. Season 2 might see a Janeway appearance, but I'd love to see that. But yeah, I think you might agree with me. Starship Picard, wow, we are going to see a lot of cool stuff based off what we just saw and what we already know.
Yeah, I think they're just doing such great work with this, and I hope... I'm trying to keep my hype in check, but it's just every time I see something, I just get more and more excited. And gosh, this trailer that just released just got me even more excited, and we only have a couple of days.
Definitely. I think this is now definitely the launch trailer. So the quote is, "The past is written, but the future is left for us to write." That's what he said something like that before in Next Generation, I think. That's like a morph of a quote he said before, I think.
It is, yeah. It's kind of a play. I'd have to go back and look to see.
I think it's very close to... Don might know this line. It's like, I think you've said it in Generations or Insurrection or Nemesis. One of them was basically like, I used to think of time as like a predator that stalked us, but actually time is like accompanies us on the journey or something. Someone might know that full quote. Please put it in the chat or tweet it to me if you know it.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Dr. Soren from Star Trek Generations.
Yes. Was that the quote? Time is like a predator.
He has Picard. He's talking to Riker on the destroyed Enterprise D deck, where he says something to the effect of, someone once told me that time is a predator that stalks us all our lives, but he believes that time is a companion that comes with us on a journey, reminding us to cherish every moment because they'll never come again. And yes, I do know the quote because I'm a big fucking nerd.
I think we all are here. Thank you to 211 people who've tuned in, by the way. It's a great live stream for TC. We are going to wrap it up here now, as we've gone a little bit overboard with our little hype and speculation as per usual. But it was great chatting. Obviously, everything Picard. I think we can confirm we're super excited for it. Let us know via the chat if you're also excited for it. We are now less than 4 days, I believe, away from seeing it on our screens. Yeah, around about 4 days away now from seeing Picard on our screens very soon, 4 to 5 days. So, are you excited for it? Yes or no in the chat? Type it now. Go on. We want to see you type it in the chat. And also, would you like to see us do more live streams as well? Because I guess we can speak about this, as we was going to mention it. But Ketwolski, we're working together a little bit closer now, aren't we?
I would say the relationship is getting intimate is the word I would use.
Bard.
No, yeah. I for those of you guys and gals who are following me on my channel, I did make a video a week or two ago saying that I was going to be working a little bit less on that channel and pursuing other interests. And one of those is also working with the Trek Central channel, kind of behind the scenes and maybe even a little bit on camera stuff, but mostly kind of working and fleshing out some of my own skill sets to help you guys continue to build this amazing channel. So I'm super excited to be kind of on board as much help as I possibly can be, and I'm excited to be a part of this group. And I'm going to be bouncing around, as I said in my video, to other different avenues, but this is one of the ones that I definitely wanted to be involved with, and I appreciate you extending the offer so I could come out and be a part of it. So thank you.
We are very happy to have you here. Someone says longer streams, please. We just got here. We will probably do some long ones in the future. Unfortunately, myself and the team and Ket as well, we're all super busy at the minute prepping for Picard. However, we have spoken about something in the future, and maybe you guys can provide us some feedback for this right now. It's sort of like after streams, not after Trek. We can't call it that, I don't think.
Copyright.
We can't call it the Ready Room either. Basically, similar to what Star Trek already does with the Ready Room, but where we're giving our opinions and sharing our details. I don't think we can get Alex Kurtzman on for a session, but it'd be worth a try. Basically sharing our thoughts on the latest episode of Picard or Discovery. I'm not sure we can get it going for Picard, but for Discovery Season 3, Trek Central will definitely be doing some sort of after podcast / live stream. Probably going to be a live stream for the show. If you'd like to see that, let us know. Write in what type of format you'd like it. You can contact us via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube comments, or our Discord server, which is down below. There's also an email on the website if you feel traditional and want to write in via email. Someone will get that to you within 48 hours, hopefully. So yeah, write in. We want to hear your feedback and your opinions. For now, I've been Captain Jack, the director of Trek Central, joined by a fantastic Ketwolski tonight. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me on.
Awesome, and we hope you all enjoy Star Trek Picard. We'll be coming with you a bunch of videos throughout the week, as well as social media content. Make sure to tune in for that. Our countdown is currently live via Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can tune in and watch that live. That's it from us for now. We're going to have a new video tomorrow, breaking down this trailer, talking about what we've just seen, as it's kind of big stuff. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Alright everyone, thanks for watching, and goodbye.